Let's fade it out. Let's come along the timeline to maybe 2 seconds. Let's hit a keyframe again and fade it in. And now when I run that web page, the text fades in as the page runs. If I refresh that again, you'll see the page, there's the text fading in over time. I didn't have to write any code. I've now created an animation just on a normal HTML page. Cool thing about it is that we don't write any garbage on the HTML page itself. We don't write any garbage at all, but we don't write anything into the page. What we do is just attach a JavaScript file at the top of the page, and that injects all of the animation and code into it. So we don't mess up the HTML, we don't make it, put all sorts of garbage in through the HTML. It's very, very clean, very, very nice way of actually adding that animation and content to the page. Apart from interaction and animation, well, apart from animation, you can also do interaction in there. Very, very simply add code to it. Let me open up a file that's a little bit sort of more complete. I'll just jump out of here and grab it from here. This is the sort of stuff that our designers are building, developers are building. For customers out there. So this is like an animated timeline of fashion over time, so different eras of fashion. So inside here, it's just all built inside Edge Animate. Very simply, I've showed you how to do animations already. It's really not that hard to be able to then create buttons and add actions to them. It's actually very simple. If I select an element and add the code, we've actually added buttons in there for the code to enable designers just to click a button rather than have to write code. If you do want to code, it'll support any JavaScript you like. But let's run this out and see what it looks like in a browser. So here it is sitting inside a browser. Little animation just happened. You saw how to do that already. There's images in here. I can click here, animation, animation, little animations running inside a symbol. Really, this is really quite simple to add the change, the cursor change. All of this is done. This file itself would probably only take a designer maybe half an hour to be able to build. It's very, very, very straightforward to do. So as you click through, it's just simple animations, little bits, interactions, clicking a button. The cool thing about it as well is this file is also built to be responsive. So if I open it up maybe on a tablet or down on a phone, it's actually going to adjust for me. And I can build all of the content that I build in Edge Animate and make it responsive as I go. I think, how am I going for time? I've got to, okay. There's so many other Edge tools. I showed you very quickly Edge Code, which is sort of super cool for developers. There's one called Reflow that enables you to build responsive design, a whole family full of tools. We've been doing a roadshow called Create the Web to show these new Edge tools and services. And for that roadshow, I wanted to build an example that would show our customers what you can actually do in HTML. Because a lot of our customers in the past have gone, oh, I want to build something a bit interactive and have used Flash to do it. And that's great. Flash is awesome, but we really encourage our customers to use Flash for gaming. If you're building like really intensive 3D games, then Flash is great. But if you're building that sort of interactive, nice, cool thing in an HTML, in a web page, we really encourage our customers to use our Edge tools and services and build HTML content that's going to run across, iPads, iPhones, etc. So I wanted to build a little example that was really sort of a bit fun and a bit different, that would show our customers what they can do with our tools in HTML. So I built a game, and it's a game that I'd actually built a few years ago in Flash, and I thought, hey, wouldn't it be cool if I redid this game? Oh, sorry, I just lost the file. If I rebuilt this game inside HTML. So here's this game that I built, and I built it years ago in Flash, about 2 or 3 years ago in Flash. Totally rebuilt it, so now it's all HTML. JavaScript, CSS, there's no Flash or anything in there. You can see it's just a bit of audio, CSS, some images, some JavaScript. I'm going to run this file on the laptop here. And it's called Mini Dodgem Air Hockey. And the idea is you've got 2 cars and a rubber ball on an air hockey table, and you've got to drive around and knock the ball down. Now, I'll start it up for you. Sorry, turn the volume down. Just turn the volume. So basically the idea is just using my keys on my keyboard. Down the bottom. Except I just locked the car and the ball into the bottom. Maybe get it out of the corner. Come on. Come on. Okay, I'm doing a really bad job of that. Oh, score! Quick, score! Oh. Now it's over. Anyway, you control it with the keys like this. I did a really bad job of that. I'm going to start it again because normally I can score. I'm going to try and score first go. Oh no. Okay, I'm doing a bad job. But you get the idea. Ooh, ooh, You get the idea. This is using the keyboard. It's all just HTML and JavaScript. You can see the performance is pretty brilliant. What's it running up here at 109 frames a second? 109 frames a second in HTML and JavaScript. That's pretty cool. Multi-user game, but let me just show you also on here. I'll just open up my browser on here. I also, sorry, let me just delete. I wanted to check, to check that it would run on tablets and stuff as well. I'm just going to, hopefully I'm connected to the internet. Please be connected. I am. So I wanted to make sure that it would run on tablets as well. This is the same game. In fact, I've got the same game running on here as well, but I wanted to make a change. So I made a new version of it called the Caribbean Catamaran Air Hockey. Running on the iPad here, and you can see it's running quite fast, so I can just click on it. And it starts running. But you get the idea. So it's the same game. You can see it's just boats instead of cars running on the iPad. But the trouble is, I suddenly realised when I built this and ran it on the iPad, I go, oh, how do I control it? Because there's where's the keyboard? I don't, like on here, it's two players both using keys, but on here I have to, like the keyboard would take it up. So what I did was I built another application using HTML, JavaScript and CSS. Oh, that's okay. I'm not connecting it all up. So I made another application. Just not when I say application, I made it just using HTML, JavaScript, CSS, and I made a little controller. You can have a look at this later. I haven't got it all connected up at the moment, but the controller basically on here it is running on my iPhone, and it's using PhoneGap Build, which is another of the Edge tools and services. So basically I can choose on here and click OK, and that would connect it all up. I choose which yacht I want to control. If I'm using the car one, I choose which car, click on that, and then I'm basically using the accelerometer on the phone running inside PhoneGap Build. It's just HTML and JavaScript, and I can use the accelerator and the brake, because yachts have accelerators and brakes. And basically steer and drive the car. If I had it connected up at the moment, I would be able to control the iPad with someone else on their Android phone, someone else on a BlackBerry phone, someone else on Windows Phone 8, could all be controlling the game through this and talking between them. So that's just an example of the sorts of things you can do now in HTML5 and CSS3, and how simple it is to build that stuff using, I'm still bouncing on that, how simple it is to build that stuff using our new Edge tools and services. So I've just scratched the surface with a few of the features, a few of the products that are available in the Creative Cloud, and some of the updates that we've made to those over the last, 9 months now. So,
Thank you, Paul. ค่ะอันนั้นเป็นการนำเสนอฟีเจอร์อย่างที่เรียนไปเมื่อสักครู่นะคะว่ามีการพัฒนาหลังจากเดือนเมษายนเป็นต้นมาเป็นฟีเจอร์เพิ่มเติมนะคะแล้วก็ทำให้ดูซึ่งเดี๋ยวถ้าท่านที่อยากจะดูฟีเจอร์แล้วจะให้แปลแต่ละอันก็เดี๋ยวมาคุยกันได้ข้างหลังนะคะอันนี้เราจะเปิดโอกาสให้ถามคำถามไม่ว่าจะเป็นการถามจากคุณวิกกี้หรือคุณพอลในเชิงเทคนิคหรือว่าในdirection ที่ทาง Adobe จะไปหลังจากวันนี้ที่เราเปิดตัวเรื่อง Creative Cloud แล้วค่ะเชิญค่ะ
become recruiting professionals.
ถ้าไม่ถามขออนุญาตถามคำถามที่ทาง E-Enterprise ฝากไว้ก่อนจะออกไปนะคะ Actually the lady who just left is from E-Enterprise. She has proposed, so she has a couple of questions for you. This creative cloud model, subscription model, considering a new business model for Adobe or not?
Absolutely. So Adobe is transforming, and we are moving to the cloud. So it's absolute transformation in our business.
คำถามของเมื่อสักครู่คือว่าการขายในรูปแบบของ Adobe Creative Cloud ถือว่าเป็นรูปแบบการทำธุรกิจใหม่ใช่ไหมคือใช่นะคะ Adobe กำลังเปลี่ยนแปลงตัวเองไปใช้การขายบนคลาวด์นะคะแทนนะคะ Are we going to the stop selling the perpetual model as of now or not?
So customers can still buy perpetual today. So they can buy either perpetual or they can buy Creative Cloud. But in the future, we will be moving customers to Creative Cloud so they can get the value of all of the updates and the upgrade. But today, they can still buy perpetual.
ค่ะณวันนี้นะคะท่านที่ยังต้องการจะซื้อในรูปแบบปัจจุบันเช่นซื้อเป็นไลเซนส์นู่นนี่นั่นยังซื้อได้นะคะแต่ในอนาคตนะคะทุกอย่างจะถูกมูฟขึ้นไปอยู่เป็นเรื่องของ Adobe Creative Cloud ทั้งหมดซึ่งเราจะแจ้งให้ทราบอีกครั้งหนึ่งนะคะ Do you consider this business model would be the trend for software vendors to move on?
So I think some software vendors have recently announced very similar offerings. I know Microsoft recently announced Office 365. I think that software companies have to follow the cloud. It's about users who access technology wherever they are, and most software vendors are doing it today. It's a very important business model for all software vendors.
ค่ะคุณวิกกี้บอกว่าคำถามก็คือว่ารูปแบบการไปขายบนคลาวด์เนี่ยจะเป็นที่